Shabbat Shalom. Whoa, that was loud. My name's Deanna D'Arkland, and I'm the VP of Religious Education on the board. And on this Veterans Day, I am going to be doing the announcements. This Sunday, our religious school mitzvah day will take place starting at 9 a.m., and you can go to the website calendar to sign up for the blood drive. And Narcon training starts at 9:15, and the wetland park cleanup is at 11. Our next seniors program will take place on Monday, November 14th at 12 p.m., and the mind and body event will include lunch, trivia games, and yoga. So CNT members get to participate for free, and it's $10 for everybody else, and you may sign up on our website's calendar. CNT is offering grief counseling starting this Tuesday, November 15th at 4, and sessions will run through December 20th. And they are with Nan Spector, and you can sign up on our website's calendar. And please take a look at our temple calendar on our website to learn more about the many events we have coming up next week. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much. Well, good Shabbos, everyone. We have a lot going on this evening, and the service will be a little bit abbreviated, and immediately following services, we're going to have a compelling conversation with our special guest all the way from Israel, Yonatan Nir, and then we will make our way for refreshments, and then his documentary. So just plan on being here tonight, because you will not want to miss this unique program. But we also want to acknowledge the fact that it is Veterans Day, and Cantor and the Shabbatones have prepared a special song that we'd like to begin. Please rise.
Really, it's the Shabbatones, so I'll let them take it away.
Beautiful way to begin our service in honor and memory of veterans who have given the most precious gift to support and ensure the values of our country. So thank you very much. All right, Cantor, what do we have next? Is it time?
Well, I think we should really bring in Shabbat with the joy of the Psalms, that we should sing unto God a new song, put to the tune by Erev Cantor Man. Page 131. are so excited for Aiden to become a bar mitzvah this Shabbat. We want to invite up members of his family to light the Shabbat candles in honor of this simcha. We invite Kathy, Lisa, Debbie, Iris, cousin Stacy, cousin Jana, cousin Missy, cousin Elise, Aunt Joanne. We also want to invite up Glory and Jim Rosenberger in honor of his choosing Judaism this week. We'll just invite you, Glory. It's fine.
And where is he?
He became Jewish and decided he didn't need to come to our services anymore.
You know, we did such a good job with Jim. He's only going to show up at high holidays now. That's it.
Bagels only.
That's it. Bagels only. I know. Ba-dum-bum. Jewish Standard Time.
Page 120. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat, for within these walls we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst, for throughout our long history, our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. And so as we welcome Shabbat, we turn to the Lachad Odi on page 138.
Shabbat,
b'nei Shabbat neka vela. Ya la 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 l'chaduti, ya la 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 l'rakala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat neka vela.
We rise to greet the Shabbat bride, verse 9. Bo'im shalom, ateret gala, gam b'simcha, ub'sohola, toch emunei, am segula, bo'im chala, bo'im chala.
Hey, ya la 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 l'chaduti, ya la 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 l'rakala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat neka vela. Ya la 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 l'chaduti, ya la 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 l'rakala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat neka vela.
All right, we'd like to call upon Jim Rosenberger, Aiden. I'd like to call upon my good friend Gard, our guest, Yonatan, if you'd come up for the Kiddush and Motzi, and if you are a child in our religious school, come. Anyone? Yonatan's probably working on technical stuff, right? Yeah. All right.
And God blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Oh, you guys want to stay up? You stay up? Oh, you guys can stay up. We're going to try something new here. Please rise again for our Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 146. La turn to page 152.
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. We continue with Ve'ahavta on pages 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi v'sadvecha hayom al levavecha v'shivnantam levanecha v'dibartam ba'am v'stivtecha b'veitecha uvleftecha vaderech ukshafnecha uvkumecha ukshartam leod al yadecha v'chayu letotavod b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai V'yatem kadoshi le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotez yatem meret Mizraim leot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
All right, so our students are going to lead us in our joyous song of Micha Mocha on page 158. So cute. But just wait for the next prayer. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. So we turn to our Vishamru prayer on page 162. It is a prayer to remember that on this Shabbat, not only do we keep it sacred, but we have as much joy as possible. So for 25 hours, we are encouraged to have joy in our hearts and in our lives. And what brings us more joy than to watch these guys on the bima? But what brings them more joy is to watch you do the dance in the pews as well. So they're going to show you how it goes in case you're new to us or you're visiting. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. So it's very simple. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berito lam. Pretty simple. And then there's a part where we do like this twirl in your seat kind of thing. And there's a part that we go like this, and we like do this. So you have to do it too. If you don't do it, I can't promise that you will experience the increased joy. So go ahead and do that. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Okay. Okay. Shabbat. That's great. So we begin to transition our service, still feeling the joy in our hearts for Shabbat, and we turn to our Amidah prayers. Don't go so far, Aiden. You're not done yet. It's like, I'll take a break now. We turn to our Amidah prayers where we say, pray as if everything depended on God, act as if everything depended on you, We rise on page 164.
It's not going to open.
Kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom, yahalelucha sela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated.
We continue now with our Misha Berach prayer, a time in which we think of those who are in need of our prayers, people who struggle with matters of the heart and mind, addiction too. And we think of those who are caregivers, that God might embolden them with that sense of hopefulness and love as they care for those that are so important to them. So I begin by sharing these names that were submitted to our office for a prayer of healing. Think of Bessie and Jean-Marc Chaubert, and Logan Knapp, the Knapp family, Yirmiyahu Ben Sarah, Angela Thompson, Mindy Backrack, Neil Kolodner, Ron Ostrov, Dory Kurtman, Aaron Ben Chaya, Shoshana Bat Miriam, Mickey Tuff, Myrene Aschenbach. If you'd like to say the name of someone special to you, please stand and say their names.
Rick Friedman.
Think of all these, so many who are part of our circle of family and friends. I also think especially of my sister Dina, as we join together in our Misha Berach
Karen
prayer.
Jacobs, Jennifer Heiler, Howard Spanier, Julie Spa, Justin Andreas, Julie Spanier Reyes.
We join together in a Misha Berach prayer.
Imagine there's a heaven. It's easy if you try. Beauty all around us. Surround us, Adonai.
We rise for the Aleinu, page 586.
If you're watching on our live stream, Shabbat Shalom, we are at this time reaching our Kaddish prayer on page 598, and we invite you to submit the names of those you are thinking of tonight who have either recently been lost or you are observing the Yortzeit, the anniversary of their death, or they're in your heart tonight.
For Kaddish, we recall Arlene Cohen, Lawrence Newman, Bill Watson, and Joan Wohlberg. We think of our veterans in years past who have lost their lives. We think of them as well. And for Yortzeit, we think of Celestine Baker, Dee Bale, Lena Cohen, Jacqueline Dvorak, Jordan Ehrlich, Sophia Eisner, Meyer Fagan, Avi Feldman, Albert Fleischer, Ida Friedman, William Gorelick, Jerry Gittle, Harold Katz, Bert Collins, Milton Kranitz, Florence Lebensberger, Leo Meckler, Shirley Murkow, Mark Moonen, Mae Muskin, Jeremy Poster, Flo Premack, Morris Ratner, Estelle Roman, Dr. Samuel Rosenthal, Francis Ross, Danny Sanoff, Philip William Sklar, Julie Ann Sklar, Rachel Smith, George Smith, Eugene Watson, Saul Zimmerman. If you'd like to say the name of someone that was not mentioned for Kaddish or Yortzeit, please stand and simply say their names.
Lucy Roth, Vincent Rodriguez, Kim Rodriguez.
As we think of all these, we rise to recite Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me'rabah v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechom v'yomechom v'chayei dachol be'Israel magalav izman kari v'yamru amen Yehesh me'rabah mevorach le'olam omei omaya Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitba'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Dekusha, Brichu, Leila Minkol Birchata V'shirata, Tush Bechata V'nechemata, Damiram V'yalma V'yamru Amen. Yehishlam Araba Min Shammai V'chayim, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'yamru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'yamru Amen. You may be seated.
Want to give a big thank you to the Shabbatones. We were talking backstage about how amazing they are, and so big thank you, because it's true, they're at the very best. Even when we get off for just a second, we always get back on. We especially want to give a special thank you to Simon, who is filling in for Mike tonight, but he is welcome in our community, and we hope to see him around again soon. We're very grateful for your talents that you shared with us tonight. We also want to thank David and Avi and Jay and Brad and Glory and Ira and Eddie, for without them, we cannot be the Shabbatones. And what would we be at CNT without the Shabbatones? We are so very grateful.
If we didn't have the Shabatones, you'd have me.
Cool.
There we go. See? He's got it.
We also want to thank Alex for the sound. You can't hear us if we don't have Alex. So
What's that? Okay, we got Alex. Cantor, let's hear for Cantor.
Rabbi.
There you go. All right, lots of people. And we thank the Bar Mitzvah family for sponsoring the oneg and the refreshments afterwards. Thank you so much. We look for Aiden's Bar Mitzvah tomorrow. But we have some special things happening tonight, so we appreciate everyone coming out for all of the festivities. We'd like to extend a special thank you to Gard Jameson. Gard, raise your hand there. He likes to be modest, but this guy has done so much for our community. If you've heard of Volunteers in Medicine, that was his and his wife Florence's brainchild, and it has literally impacted the lives of thousands in our community who could not afford health care. So he is busy saving lives. In addition, he has been our faithful leader of the Interfaith Council, and as such, he brings together our community in unique ways. So he calls me up, says, Rabbi Sandy, I got an idea. What? And this was a good idea, Gard. This is a good one. I know of a movie and a film director in Israel, and I want to bring him out. I said, you want to bring him out? We'll just see the film. No, we want to do a package deal here. All right, whatever Gard says, I know it's going to be good. So thank you, Gard, for your ideas, your wisdom, your leadership. And here we are, months later. All the way in Israel is a film director who is going to be our special guest tonight, Yonatan Nir. And he has traveled with us on a special mission to share with us his film, The Central Link, The Story of Wilfrid Israel. Now, aside from the publicity that you might have read, how many of you heard of Wilfrid Israel? Raise your hand. You heard of him before the publicity. Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3 people. 3 people. So we've all heard of Oskar Schindler. This one has saved 15 times more Jews. And he happens to be Jewish. And you're going to hear his story, this compelling story, in the documentary tonight. So he has made other documentaries, and I refer you to Yonatan's website. You're going to Google his name, Yonatan, then Nir, N-I-R, and you will see the list of things that he has created, and he is now working on a special documentary about PTSD and the people who have fought in the Israeli army, and it's going to be very, very important. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Yonatan to come. We're going to have a little bit of a compelling conversation. We haven't done one in person since before COVID, so let's see how this goes. Come on up. Del. Here we go. All right, everyone, now we're switching gears for a little bit. So welcome to our first in-person compelling conversation since really before COVID. So it feels a little bit like we got to get used to it for a moment and to kind of switch gears. So first of all, let's just have a warm welcome to our guest. Please, let's hear it.
Thank you very much.
So we only have about 15 minutes, but luckily we have a movie that's going to fill in the details. So you have produced a lot of different films. Why did this particular subject attract you?
So I usually make films about the relationship between man and nature, and this film is totally different, but it was a film that I just couldn't resist. I was born in a kibbutz in the northern part of Israel. In the center of this kibbutz, ever since I remember myself, there was this big house named the Wilfrid's house by the founders of the kibbutz, among them my grandparents. The house was built in the 40s, and nobody have told us who was Wilfrid Israel that the house was named after. And only 10 years ago, I got a phone call from a friend from the kibbutz, and he said, I have to tell you an amazing story. The house, the Wilfrid's house, is called after a man who saved 15 times more people than Oskar Schindler. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. How come we didn't know about it? How come the founders of the kibbutz never told us the real story about this man? They just told us that he was a good friend of the founders, but no more than that. And this man just gave me a book. On the back cover of the book, there was one sentence by Albert Einstein. Never in my life have I come in contact with a being so noble, as strong, and as selfless as Wilfrid Israel. And then I knew that I have to find the answer. Who was this man? What was the connection to the kibbutz? And why nobody spoke about him for 70 years?
So that's kind of the mystery of the movie. We don't want to give away too much. But if you think about it, we go through life and there are statues or there are pictures of people who are very prominent. And we just walk by and we go, well, who is that person? And given enough time, it could be 5 years, could be 50 years, we're walking past history and we don't even know it. So when you ask, how could he grow up in a kibbutz and not even know who this was? Well, that's part of the answer, but perhaps there's a little bit more as well. You know, Wilfrid Israel's story is unique. What do you think generated his courage to act? If people here were in the same situation, I want them to think, would they do something if they had the ability, or would they sit there in silence or fear or just save their own lives? What do you think motivated him to make a difference?
Wilfrid Israel was a very unique individual. He was a mixture between many things. First of all, he was a very successful businessman. He owned one of the largest department stores in Berlin, in the center of Berlin, employed 2,500 employees. But he also had really strong connections in the Zionist organization and also with the British government. He was born in Britain, and because he was born in Britain, the business that he owned was registered and also insured in Britain. And because of that, the Nazis could not touch his business until 1939. So between 33 and 39, Wilfrid Israel used his money and connections to save as many Jews as possible. Started with his own employees, about 700 of them.
In the movie, you say he paid them for 2 years, their full salary. Can you imagine that? He not only saved their lives, but he made sure that they had enough to start a new life. That was amazing.
Exactly.
But dig deeper. Why do you think he had, like, there were some people, a lot of people who could have done something and they didn't. Why do you think he did?
I
What was
think
it about his character?
I think he was motivated by values. Basically, he believed in peace. He believed in equal rights. He was against racism from any kind, and he believed that you need to help the person that needs help, whomever it will be. And he saved the lives of thousands of people that he didn't know. And he could have left Germany anytime, in 33, in 34, in 35. He could leave Germany anytime, but he decided to stay and even come back after he left Germany, come back in 1939 to take care of the last Kindertransport trains. He was the initiator of the Kindertransport operation, which was probably one of his biggest accomplishments in life.
How did he convince people to give up their children to go on the transport? Did you ever find that out?
So yeah, if you want to get a little bit into details, so after Kristallnacht, which is yesterday, 84 years ago, or 2 days ago, 84 years ago, Wilfrid Israel realized what's happening, and he knew what's going on. So he contacted his friend and his cousin, Lord Herbert Samuel, who was in Britain, and told him, this is going to get worse. We need to get out the children, even if it is without the families. But nobody in Britain could accept or could believe that that the women, the mothers will be able to, or will want, or will agree to part from the children. All the men, or most of the men after Kristallnacht, were in concentration camp, about 30,000 men. So it was a decision of the women, but nobody believed it in Britain. So a Quaker delegation came from England, especially to meet Wilfrid Israel in Germany, in Berlin. And Wilfrid Israel took them to the women organizations around Germany, and they could speak with the women, and the women said, yes, we are willing to give our children and put them on trains and hopefully see them one day. Most of them never saw them again.
Mm-mm. You know, we showed the film a couple days ago, and King David. Jay Poster is here. We want to thank Jay for arranging for that showing. It was fabulous. And we had some of the survivors there from our community. There were 2 who are still alive who were at Kristallnacht. They were there, Alex Kushel and Steve Nasser. And you might have seen the article in The Sun, the front page of The Sun. So thank you, Leslie, for publicizing that as well. What did you feel when you saw these people who were actually there at the same time as Wilfrid, right? Who knows if they met him, but they were there, and it's like a mystical event, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, 2 days ago, I don't remember his name, but the one man, Alex, 99 years old, and he came and he sang El Maleh Rachamim, and it was like you could feel the energy in the air. It was a very touching moment. I think we're all privileged to still know and meet people that were there and were eyewitness to that terrible time. And our job is to continue to tell the story to the next generations. I'm going with this film sometimes in schools in Israel, speak about it, and really use the power of documentary to educate and to inspire, because the amazing thing about the story of Wilfrid Israel, if some of you will see the film, is that he was a true inspiration. He was always hopeful. He always tried to find solutions in very difficult times. And to me, it's an honor to be here and to share this story with you.
So one last thought, unfortunately, we're seeing the rise of anti-Semitism rear its ugly head. And I always tell people, you know, we got to be concerned, but it's not 1933. But some people feel it is. 1933, 1938, like we're on the verge of something. Do you see any connection in your film besides educating people about Wilfrid Israel, but as kind of a cautionary tale for we as a Jewish community to speak up or fight anti-Semitism? Do you see a relationship at all in his heroism?
I think that Wilfrid Israel was against any kind of racism. In the 30s and today, there is a rise of anti-Semitism, and in the 30s, of course, we are, you know, the Jewish people were under persecution, but I think in general, Wilfrid Israel and I myself as well, I'm just against any form of racism. If you judge someone else according to his belief or his color, the color of his skin or the color of his eyes, that's very, very wrong. Whomever is doing it today is doing a wrong thing, and we should, of course, be against it, always, against any kind of racism.
Well, thank you, Yonatan, for sharing this in this special format. And so I think everyone here is anxious to see the film and anxious to share in the Oneg Shabbat. So let's have a round of applause as we conclude this portion of it. Special thank you to our program director, social media guru, Leslie Snedowski. Thank you, Leslie. You really have promoted this so well. We're going to make our way into this first part of the social hall. You're going to have the oneg and enjoy, but we're going to start the movie in no less than 10 minutes, and it'll be in the other part of the social hall. And there's only a limited number of chairs, so I encourage you all to come. We'll find more chairs. All right? Good Shabbos, everyone. We'll see you in the social hall.